When WWE sold itself to Endeavor and became part of TKO Group Holdings, fans were promised a new era of global expansion, massive opportunities, and long-term growth. But instead, we've seen mass talent cuts, creative decisions driven by corporate metrics, and a product that's starting to feel more like a business portfolio than a wrestling empire. From backstage chaos to questionable changes that alienate lifelong fans, this isn't the WWE we grew up with. This is the TKO era, and it might just be killing what made WWE special in the first place. Before we get into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more wrestling content. In 2023, when Vince McMahon sold WWE to Endeavor and folded into TKO Group Holdings, many fans held their breath. This wasn't just a corporate merger, it was the end of WWE as a McMahon-run independent entity. And while some were cautiously optimistic, especially with Triple H still steering the creative ship, what's unfolded since has raised serious concerns about the direction of the company, because now it's starting to feel like WWE isn't being led by wrestling minds anymore. It's being managed by business suits with no real pulse on the audience, and that disconnect is becoming harder and harder to ignore. Let's rewind for a moment. WWE was thriving when TKO came knocking. Thanks to Triple H, the product had regained its footing. Fans were coming back. Storylines had weight again. Characters were compelling. Crowds were hot. Merchandise was flying off the shelves. This wasn't a company in need of saving. It was a company finally on the rise again. So when TKO bought in, they were walking into a gold mine. A red-hot product with mainstream momentum. In many ways, they bought WWE at the perfect time. Because if this deal had happened back in 2018 or 2019, during that soulless, half-empty arena era where the product felt cold, none of this would have even mattered. But 2023 WWE? That was a different beast. TKO didn't save wrestling. They inherited something that was already thriving, and all they had to do was stay out of the way. Instead, it feels like the deeper TKO's involvement goes, the more the cracks begin to show. Take The Rock, for example, once seen as a returning hero, now increasingly viewed as a symptom of the problem. He's not just popping in for a nostalgic pop anymore, he's on the board of directors, and with that comes real influence. He helped orchestrate one of WWE's most shocking moments in recent memory, the long-awaited John Cena heel turn. But then, he vanished. Ghosted the fans, no follow-up, no WrestleMania 41 appearance, just radio silence. And when backlash started piling up, instead of addressing fans through WWE's own platforms, he went on the Pat McAfee show to try and save face. That only made it worse. Because what we got was a corporate-sounding, carefully calculated version of The Rock. Not the people's champ, just another executive trying to spin PR. And one moment in particular stood out, when he casually said TKO CEO Ari Emanuel called him to help boost Elimination Chamber ticket sales. Think about that. Not Triple H. Not the head of creative. Not anyone actually running the wrestling. The CEO of the parent company called The Rock. As if the event was failing. Never mind that 27,000 tickets had already been sold. The Rock framed it like he needed to swoop in and save the show, and whether he meant to or not, it completely disrespected the talent who were already booked and busting their asses to make that card matter. Moments like that reveal a bigger truth. There's a growing divide between the people making decisions about WWE and the people actually running WWE. And it's not just showing up in backstage politics, it's showing up right on our screens. Look at how commercialized the product has become. Sponsorships, branding, product placements, every single segment feels like it's been brought to you by some company. And while it's understandable that WWE wants to cash in where they can, there's a fine line between monetization and oversaturation. That line has been crossed. WrestleMania 41 is a perfect example. A match between the War Raiders and the New Day was reportedly added to satisfy a sponsor requirement. Meanwhile, a critically acclaimed TLC match that should have been a show stealer was bumped to SmackDown instead. You can practically feel the corporate fingerprints on decisions like that, and even Triple H, who's usually professional to a fault, seemed to take a subtle shot, praising the TLC match extensively afterward on social media. Maybe he was just proud, or maybe it was a quiet jab at the powers that be. And then there's the issue that fans are feeling in their wallets. Ticket prices have gone from expensive to borderline exploitative. WrestleMania packages crossing into six-figure air. In fact, they brag about these record gates as if we should be proud to spend thousands just to be in the building. But when you keep raising prices and treating your audience like dollar signs, eventually you drive away the people who made the brand strong in the first place. It's impossible to ignore the disturbing contradiction between TKO's record-breaking financial headlines and the brutal wave of layoffs that just hit WWE. In a span of days, the company gutted not just behind-the-scenes departments but also released a slew of on-air talent, some of whom were prominently featured and beloved by fans. Names like Braun Strowman, Dakota Kai, Shayna Baszler, and rising NXT prospects like Cora Jade and Gigi Dolan were all shown the door. In some cases, WWE didn't even formally release them, just quietly let contracts expire without renewal. The optics are awful. Mass layoffs on one side, $40,000 ticket packages on the other. You can't claim to love this business while gutting the very people who bring it to life, all in the name of margins and bonuses. There's a human cost to all this celebration of quarterly profits, and it's getting harder and harder to ignore. And behind the scenes, you get the sense that Triple H might be nearing a breaking point. At WrestleMania 40, he made a comment that felt lighthearted on the surface, but deeper if you really listened. He said, "If it's fun, I stay. If it's not, we'll figure something else out." It might have sounded like a throwaway line, but combine that with his increasingly defensive tone in interviews, his obvious frustration with outside interference, and the way he's had to defend the product lately, and it paints a different picture. Could we really be heading toward a future where Triple H walks away from the company he helped revive? Because here's the truth, wrestling isn't just business. It's passion, it's emotion, it's connection. And if TKO forgets that, if they keep pushing numbers over narrative and brand deals over booking, they're going to lose the soul of what made WWE special in the first place. History proves it. When the wrestling is good, the money always follows. But when you chase money first, you lose both. What do you guys think about TKO's involvement in the WWE recently? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more wrestling content. Thanks for watching.